Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Now, I was supposed to be doing 2 episodes of the Hardcore Casual over the last couple of days, but time kind of got away from me, a little bit of tiredness as well. So this is kind of going to be an amalgamation of the Hardcore Casual episode 50 and also basis picks for the weekend, as it is Brook Eve right about now. I'm going to try and do a truncated version of all the things I want to talk about. However, there may be some segments that get cut out and added to the next episode of the Hardcore Casual. So let's see where we get to, see how long this takes, and ultimately, yeah, we'll take it from there. I will apologize for now, just in case you hear any background music that's not of my doing, or any conversations, door slammings, whatever, you know, that can't be helped tonight, unfortunately. But as always, please like and subscribe, click that notification just so you know when all the next videos are coming out, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I think I need to make an apology and an amendment. In my previous video, I said Natasha Jonas, I believe I said that she was fighting Jackie Namas, when obviously the lady's name's Christian, or Chris for short. Now, I don't know exactly where I got Jackie from. I think I was in between. I was thinking of something else at the time, and that's just the name that was in my head. So yeah, apologies if I got that wrong, anyone, if I sort of misrepresented her in any way to anyone watching the video. However, I saw the weigh-in today, and yeah, I'm even more confident as to what I said in the last video. Don't be surprised if Chris Namas stops Tasha Jonas on Saturday, or today if you're watching this on Saturday. Now, I'm a very big fan of Tash. She's one of the few people from Liverpool that I can actually tolerate listening to. I know, unpopular opinion, but yeah, it's factual. There's something about her that I really like, but I'm not going to cap for her, regardless of the amount of them you see me wearing in these videos. Like, I can't do it. Now, this is not to say that she can't win that fight, but when you've campaigned as low as 130 for as long as she has, with your other bouts being at 135, and now you're jumping up to 154 with someone who's naturally competing up there, someone whose lowest weight is the highest weight you ever competed at, which is like 140, and that was way back in the day, mainly competing at 147 and 154 for the last several years. Yes, she's been inactive for about the last 2 years, so that makes it a smart match in that sense, in case she's got ring rust. But as I said, her style, the style that she exhibits, is not that of someone that suffers from ring rust. Because ring rust is when you're a pure boxer trying to get your legs together, trying to get your movement and your timing right. Or if you're a boxer puncher, when you're trying to counter and slip between shots and, you know, sort of, again, getting your timing, getting your balance, getting your distance. Like, Chris Namas is none of those. She's more akin to a pressure fighter and a scrapper. They don't suffer ring rust the same way. The most rust you might get is maybe getting buzzed by a shot a bit quicker because you haven't been used to taking them for a little while. Outside of that, her tactics and her style is going to be what it's going to be. Now, as she's a naturally bigger girl, remember, she's had to drop weight to come in at the weight she's at. Natasha's just been training at her probable walk around weight, or near enough her walk around weight. So she's not going to be as big on the night Same as she wasn't as big in the weigh-in. Like, you came in underweight, fully clothed. There's a big height difference there as well, right? Tash is, I think, 5'6", and I think this other girl's like, I think Chris is 5'8.5", 5'9". She's just a bigger, thicker, solid girl. And I'm not saying size is everything, because Tasha's definitely got the better skills, but the problem is you need to be able to keep out of the way of someone like Chris Namas, because she's just gonna be on you. She's gonna do big girl tactics. She'll come in close. If she can't get you with the shots, she'll grab you, she'll tie you up, she'll lean on you, she'll try to be rough, because she's got those natural advantages. She's not gonna try and sit and actually outskill the boxer, because we all know that Tasha is the better boxer out of the two. I know that. She's got the pedigree. Chris has got more of the pro experience, a lot more pro fights. But yeah, Tasha's got the better skills, and obviously she's got that more of the amateur pedigree as well. So if Chris sits back and does an AJ Usyk, then yes, every chance Natasha could win on points. Tasha can't stop her. I don't believe, well, let me say not that she can't. I don't believe she stops her, because Chris is tough. But as I've said to people before, and I will say it again, Chris is more Vivian Obanoff than she is Terry Harper. And my prediction for that fight is unfortunately that Tash loses. Don't want it to be that way, but that's my prediction. And if I'm gonna go for method, I do believe that it could be a stoppage around round 7, between round 7 and round 9. I think it's possible. Whether it's a knockout or a throw-in of the towel or a ref stopping it, I don't necessarily think that she'll be KO'd on the floor, but I can see it being a stoppage between round 7 and 9. So that's my prediction for that fight. Outside of the main event, that's the only fight I'm going to predict, because it's the only one I care about. I hope I'm wrong. In fact, I'll be praying that I'm wrong. And I'll take whatever stick that she wants to throw at me on Twitter afterwards, or any of her fans want to throw at me. I'll take it gladly, because I want her to do it. But like I said, Eva Piaskowska was the better fight for her. This one, I don't know who done the matchmaking, but it wasn't a great look, unless she just happened to be second in line and there was no choice but having to face her. But then I even say, even if Tash wins, like, what is she really doing at 154? Because there's other killers up there that ain't been out the ring for 2 years. I mean, Tash against Hannah Rankin. Anyway, look, let me not get into any more of that. I don't want to be spreading any more perceived negativity out there. Tash, I wish you the best, but my prediction's my prediction. It's been locked in. You heard it here. Get in the comments. Let me know what yours are, and we keep it moving. All right. So as I just said previously, there's no other fights on this card that I care about. I mean, look, I'm keen to see what the Azim brothers do. If I'm being honest, I could care less about Frazier Clark's debut, because he's not in there with anyone credible. He's not even in there with someone that's reasonably in shape. So yeah, don't care. Who else is on this bill? Off the top of my head, that's it. Oh no, I know there's other fights on there, but none that I care about. Like, if I'm gonna be totally honest, the card is poor. Right, it's really poor, but it's offset by the fact that the main event is so intriguing and so long awaited. The rest of the card almost doesn't matter. which is weird. That's something that Ade would say, and I never subscribed to that. But to be fair, I'm not paying for the pay-per-view, so I guess it doesn't bother me that the card's shit. With regards to the main event fight, now I was one of the people in the beginning saying I don't care for this fight anymore. 5 years past its prime, it's not where it was. It was not where it should be. It's not worth the time and effort. I was one of the people that said that. I can admit it. And you know what? I still think the same way. As I said, I'm not paying for the pay-per-view. I will be watching the fight, but only because I'm going to be at the live watch along down at Old Tiger's Head in Lewisham with the Undefeated podcast, Travis J and KG, the comedian, and I guess the rest of the Undefeated team. I know Rubes is going to be down there as well, and whoever else is in attendance. A lot of the Undefeated Discord is going to be down there, so salute to them. We'll see. I'll link up with everyone. All of them know my face. There's only a handful of their faces I know, so it'll be interesting when people come up to me. Oh, I'm such and such. I'm such and such. Cool. Anyway, yeah. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be buying the pay-per-view, because I'm a person. I stick to what I say for the most part. However, I will admit that the fight is intriguing. I watched the press conference. Now, if the gloves are off was a 10-7 to Khan, I feel like the press conference was definitely a 10-9 back to Kell. So he'd still be a point down, no 2 points. Yeah, it'd still be 2 points down really, but that was his round. Him and Dom Ingle, I feel, did a better job in the press conference. He was a bit more relaxed. Yeah, Amir Khan still had the zingers, but Khan trying to pull out the, sort of the desperate racial and racially motivated jargon. I can't tell someone how to feel about certain things, but I know that was just a tactic to try and get people on his side. I've spoken to many people from the same place as him who have pretty much said the same thing. Like, it was a bit of a low blow, not to mention the stuff that he's alluded to. You saw within the press conference that he wasn't as much of a wham as he managed to be in the gloves are off, and in the very first press conference it all looked like it got a bit too much on top of his head. Like, Bomac went and got way out of character as well, which probably doesn't instill confidence in you if that's your new trainer and he's wilding out and reacting poorly to what's being thrown at him as well. So Kell definitely got that one back. Now we come to the weigh-in today, and the whole talk for the last day and a half, 2 days was, well, maybe Kell's gonna just not even bother make the weight. Maybe he'll just pay the fine, come in healthy, and just do what he wants to do. And I'm pretty sure that's been playing on Khan's mind, because he's had to answer questions about it. All of that's been going through his head. So even in the weigh-in, I don't think he was as potentially confident as he could be. Lo and behold, Kell comes in underweight, almost a pound under the weight. Looked probably in his best condition he's looked since the Golovkin fight, when he didn't have to drain down at all. Yeah, people said he looked a little dry, but he didn't look as gaunt as he's done before. He didn't look, like a shell of himself or like a ghost. He looked well, he looked defined. Came in to hydrate pretty much straight after, and it looked like to me he won the weigh-in as well, because realistically at that point, again, the whole talk is, what's he gonna do? That has to be playing on his opponent's mind, whereas he's the only one who's in control of that. So thus far it's kind of even in that sense. Now to this fight, the best thing that Kell can do is stay in his orthodox stance. Like, if one thing we know about Amir Khan, he does very well against southpaws. Now, to be honest, Kell doesn't switch it long within that southpaw stance. He normally just goes from one stance while punching into the other, and then goes back to his normal orthodox as soon as he's in a safe distance. I think if he keeps himself to his orthodox stance, he'll be able to cut off a lot of Khan's entry and exit points when he's unloading his combinations. Now, in some of the training videos, I saw Bomac basically drilling into Khan's head, look, forget the speed, like the speed's there already, so stop trying to flurry, like take your time, set these shots. And if he actually does that in the fight, it's actually a lot more dangerous for Brook than I would believe if he was just trying to go in there for the speed. Because if he's naturally got the speed, but he's now timing his shots as well, that's going to throw off Kell's rhythm. He's not going to be able to anticipate what's coming his direction. Now, ultimately, for Khan, the way he needs to be able to win this is he needs to stop Kell from being able to invest in body work. So he's literally got to hit and move. He likes to throw 1, 2 and 3 punch combos, which is what sometimes gets him in trouble, but he's literally got to stay on the jab for the first 2 to 3, maybe even 4 rounds. Like, I think he's got the better reach than Brook has. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks as if he's got a longer reach. He literally needs to pop that stick, move, pop that stick, move. Like, keep Brook on the end of the jab, and then if Brook decides to try and lunge in, that's when you follow up with either a straight right or a left hook while you're pivoting away from his right hand, and essentially finding that exit before it gets closed off. If he gets through the first sort of 3 or 4 rounds like that, and then both fighters are probably going to start to slow down a little bit, start to tire a bit. But if we all think that Kell has to take more weight off than Khan, it should be a bit more of a struggle for him to ultimately now make that have to sort of carry that pace for the next several rounds. And at that point, that's where I feel Khan would be able to implement more of his combination punching when Kell's a bit more tired. Then he can maybe start investing into the body as well, like maybe double jabbing, straight right, slip underneath the shot, again angle himself out, make Kell have to walk towards him, have to do the chasing, and just keep it level, keep it measured, keep it controlled, and obviously try and be a bit spiteful and just aim for the eyes. Forget the cheeks, forget the temples, just literally even the nose, forget everything. Just like there's a laser, just it's focused right on the eyes. Just go for one of them all night. That's the way you finally break him down, and ultimately you could end up probably getting rid of him sort of rounds 10 to 11, because he normally sticks around quite well, minus the Terence Crawford fight. That's how I see the way that both guys can win this. However, my prediction is going to disregard all of that, and I'm basing my prediction on this fight purely on a bit of smart revision, I suppose, on both guys, and also a bit of conjecture. Now, if you look at both guys, Khan, you can maybe say poorly managed, but neither of them have actually got knockout victories over their world-class or elite level opponents. Khan's gone distance with, he went distance with Maidana. I think he went distance with Barrera as well. Obviously, Lamont Peterson, he got a bad decision against him, but it was a distance thing. Then at the time, if you want to say Danny Garcia, obviously got knocked out by Garcia, got knocked out by Canelo, quit against Crawford. And then on the Brook side, obviously, You know, got the towel thrown in against Golovkin. Got stopped by Crawford. Got stopped by Errol Spence. So neither guy has scored a knockout at sort of that world elite level. Like I said, the asterisks might be Paulie Malignaggi. So with that being said, if both of them are world level fighters, then there's no evidence to suggest that either of them can knock each other out. Now, if you want to say that they're both past their best and they're both faded and they're no longer world level, okay, possibly. So now what would they be? Fringe world? European? Are they just like upper British at this point? Interesting. But my prediction, I think Khan's gonna get hit with something hard quite early. He might go down or he might wobble, but it's not gonna take him out. I think Brook's gonna aim to slow his legs down. He's gonna invest in the body, similar to the way that Crawford did, and definitely to the way that Canelo did in their fight when he started to slow down the legs. But I think it will get to a point where Amir gets hurt, but rather than just try and fight his way out of it like he normally does, I think something's going to go off in his mind and say, I can't get knocked out. Whatever I do, I can't get knocked out. And I think he will end up going into more of a survival mode to try and see out the rounds. So he may have had like a good 3 or 4 or 5, and then something happens. And as I said, if he gets dropped, I feel like he's not going to try and fight it off in case he gets knocked out. So I think he's going to go into a survival mode, go into where he feels like either he can ride out the storm or he can ride to the end of the fight for like a point win. And my official prediction is that Kell Brook is going to win this fight by either a UD or an MD decision. Now I know it's a brazy statement, but I'm only going off the history of both guys. Neither one has knocked anyone out at world level. The only way I won't claim a loss if that doesn't happen and someone does get stopped is if they get stopped because they quit, similar to what Khan did against Crawford. Or like if, you know, they're fighting but then someone decides to throw in the towel. Unless they're taking like a proper sustained battering where like they're just, you know, on the ropes, arms down, you know, just getting pounded on, and the ref's about to jump in and the towel comes in or something like that. Unless it's like that, then I won't take the L on the prediction. But that is my prediction for the time being. It's probably gonna be wrong. But let's be honest, we need 12 rounds of this. I don't want 3 rounds or 4 or 5 or even 6. Like whoever's gonna take a beating, I want them to actually take a sustained beating throughout the fight. But I feel as if, just again, unless there's a bogus stoppage, then cool. But I feel like the victory to either guy is not to get knocked out by the other person. Decision loss, you can take that. Especially if there's a rematch clause, you can run it back in the rematch. But the knockout, I don't know. That's not the one that they want. So that's my prediction. I'm going Kell Brook, unanimous decision or majority decision victory. If he gets a split decision, I'll claim that as well. But that's my decision. That's what I'm going for. Everyone else, I want you to leave your comments down in the down in the comment section. I know a bunch of you probably like cussing me right about now, saying I'm delusional. Hey, I mean, look, I've been wrong. Not wrong often, but I've been wrong. And yeah, let's see where we get to. Like I said, it's all part of the fun. So leave your comments down below, like and subscribe as always. And for now, bases picks locked.